Well, so here we are going to use a new tool. And the goal of this new tool that we want to connect is that I actually want to give this agent access to the internet. Because generally, when in there, this brain, here is this model, our LM model with OpenAI, it will mainly rely on its own knowledge, but it does not have internet access. So, therefore, I want to have internet access so that I can, there it is, to ask specific questions so it can browse websites. And that will help me a lot with the other task, which is the task of extraction. To better understand the use of this tool that I will add now, there will be a mission. For example, if I search for Hotel Paris, you will see that I want to retrieve, for example, this URL. And so this URL, so that I can really retrieve it, the AI will fill in the information. It will search on Google. And afterwards, I can retrieve that link. And then I will do other applications or other tasks with other tools. And they are the ones who will actually collect the information that will be on the left. But first, I need to give access to my AI so it can go on the internet. And for that, we will actually call upon this API. So this is a website called SerpApi.com. Primarily, it gives me the API to perform searches and conduct searches on Google. So mainly, that's it. For example, if I type, for instance, I tell it I want to search for coffee, I provide a location. This system, as you can see here, is capable of finding all that information for me. And obviously, I can retrieve, as you can see, links, URLs, and all of this will help me later to launch searches and especially to gather data. So the registration is free. This means that you can register. You will see that a free account, if I scroll down here, look, a free account will give me up to 100 searches, which is more than enough for our model. What I think a salesperson might ask is to create searches on 100 addresses or 100 domains. Because in each domain, if I say, for example, hotel or restaurant, it's a domain where I can have thousands of addresses, information on prospects. So then imagine that I can do 100 searches on 100 different domains. So the package is free, and I think it is more than sufficient. If you want, of course, to go a bit further, to develop and do a lot more research, if you want to sell these databases later, yes, you can switch to a slightly more paid mode. But for the free mode, it's easy. You just need to create an account here, and then you will have direct access to your database or your dashboard. Well, I already have an account, so I will go directly to sign in to access my dashboard and retrieve what we call my API key. Here, I am on the back office. As you can see here, there is the API key section, and here there is my key that I can copy. Of course, I'm masking it because it's a key that we will just use for specific operations. But you can create it for free yourself. As you can see here, it tells me that I have 4 searches that have been launched on it. And by the end of the month, it will be reset to give me again 100 new searches. So once you have retrieved this key, which is a very important key, I will show you how I can use this key to connect my node to my workflow. Well, here we are going to click on Tool, and you will see. I will simply type Snake API. And there you go. That's all there is to it. Which interests me then. Here, I click on this tool, and there, of course, I will simply need to make a simple connection, and the connection. It allows you to click. You just need to click here. There you go. And create a new client, and then copy and paste, actually. The key should be created together. Once you have created it, actually, you will find, there you go, it will give you. In fact, this green message to tell you the connection, it is good. And I can, of course, simply test. You will see that there. So, of course, I will save here. So I save. So the workflow needs to be saved. We will just check, actually, that everything is fine. Regarding the options, we actually don't need to specify the requirement. We will let the linking actually handle the setup. So here are the specific details and the information related to the specifics. I can refresh the page here. Always, in fact, there is. So we will say if the agent actually updates their record. Orange indicates with a yellow triangle to refresh the page. It's very important for them to be able to take into account the new updates. Okay, so here we're going to have a very simple chat. We're going to ask it, For example, I will simply ask it to give me information about, so, today's news. If I say today's news, I've specified today, so you will see that normally there will be a need to consult. So, OpenAI ChatGPT to reformulate the question, but to get the answer and to require to go here to search for it on the internet. And afterwards, it will process and display it. So I make my request. So now it stores it. In memory, it calls ChatGPT, and there you go. The SerpApi. In fact, it worked. Look, the SerpApi, it worked. The SerpApi. It actually received this command. So it's true that here, look, regarding the date, it shows 2023 because the date is displayed by default. Old, but I will obviously show you how I can update the date so that the system takes today's date into account. But what is very important here, you understood that the agent, in fact, this is the agent. So this agent, it was simply able to understand here that it needed to use this tool to go to the internet, and that's what happened. So the functioning and the mechanism of our workflow work. So up to now, we have the ability to go on the internet and use a UI, and then we will try to add other tools so that it doesn't actually allow us to now retrieve information, especially on Google Maps. So I will quickly here update this agent. I will provide today's exact date. So here, at the level of the message, I will simply give it attention. Now I'm going to switch to expression mode. So here, look, I have expression. So I switch to expression, and there in the expression, I have put this line. Today's date is, and there I have put a dynamic variable. It's a variable that N8N will recognize. And as you can see here, it is translating it on today's date. And from there, you will see, I will save. If I launch the chat, I will launch the same information. So normally here it will recognize the date. It is given today's exact date. So if I check the news and information, look here. So if I scroll up a little, there you go. So it actually calls upon internet searches. And there I really find the results, like here 2 days before, and information, of course, they are much more detailed. It's just a small detail to understand that the more we master the agent, the more information we give it, the more precise it will be. And that's what we will see in the next tools. Here, we will further guide it to become an expert, especially when I extract data and information. Very well, so now we will add another tool. Here, we will simply use the function that will help us search for information and extract data from Google Maps. So, that's why I will use this option, cal N8N workflow tool. What does that mean? It means that the function responsible for extracting information and data will be used in another workflow. It means we can say, as if I am going to create a separate sub-workflow on a different page. Every time I call it, it will extract and return the data and information to me. So, in the tools, actually, we cannot put multiple functions. That's why we will use this function. It's a single node that will later inside call our workflow, where I will put all the functions. You will understand better when I configure it. So here, I will simply call it here. We will call it Google Maps Extractor. So here it will extract the data and information. It's very important to provide a description here, because this description, mind you, will also serve as a description for our AI agent. So the AI agent, when we provide a good description here, will also understand everything better. It's true that even if we don't put anything, it will understand the task, but you will see. And I actually tested the difference, and it will be much more confident in knowing the nodes, and it's faster. In fact, it won't need, for example, to enter all the nodes to test them and see if the results are good or not. So as a result, if we make a good description, imagine you have 5 or 6 tools connected to each other. So in that case, it will go very, very fast. So I will actually add it later, and you will see that I will need it. I need to write a new workflow. I should actually make it connect. Here, first, we will help step by step, so we create everything. Look, here, this is everything. So as a result, here, that's it. The concept, so the agent is there. It must be connected. Everything experienced here. There are several functions that I will do. So as a result, I cannot connect several here. So as a result, I only connect a single node. It's a node called call N8N in the workflow. But I also prefer. In fact, so now we will save. We also actually prefer to rename it to make it much simpler. So here we will call it workflow. Google extractor. There you go. We will call it that so we can really understand it better. This is much more for us so that we can, there you go. Finally, so that we can see. Here is an easy to read and understand workflow, especially if we are going to export it. Okay, what am I going to do with this one? So once I have saved, you will see that I will try to create a new workflow. So it's as if I'm coming back here. All right. Remember that this is actually the main workflow. Okay. So this one is the main workflow, and I will create a new one here, which will be a secondary. Of course, there you go. We will give it a name here so that we can understand it better. So we will call it Google Maps to make it more. Okay, there you go. It's def blurry. There you go. We will call upon. In fact, this tool here, we need to record it. So here, we will actually create this to see it and pay attention to it. It will be triggered if it is in progress, if we have called it from another workflow. And so it's very important to specify this clearly. So you will see, look here, there is an option called this one, actually, when executed by another workflow. So this one only works if it has been executed by our workflow. That's why I actually select this trigger. And there, at the trigger level, it tells me, okay, how do you want me to receive the information? Either it accepts all the information, or quite simply, we will give it specific information. So there, the information specifically, when you select by default, it will do that for you, but of course we will erase it, and don't worry. It's the AI later that will fill in the information, but words to test properly. In fact, I will just provide a structure. There you go, we will just create a structure to test the data. In fact, it will receive it maybe like this. I provide the word for the search, mention the country, and the PI code. When you see it there, so there, it's state, when it also has the Cantelé, so it's as if I provide the country code, and I would also give the city. And so thanks to these 4 variables, subsequently, the system will receive them. It will fill in this data to give me the result. So once I've done that, you will see there, I have my system there, I save here. And I would like to open it in 2 pages. So that's why I'm going to open it in a new window, so that I can always keep the main workflow open, which is this one. So this one, if I come back here, you will see, if I click on open there, we will find the one we just created right now, together. So we will look for it. Or quite simply, we will write here under workflow. There it is, that's the one. So as a result, it has connected. And be careful, here I need to fill in the information, meaning the AI, it must send the information. So instead of writing them, actually you will see here, there is a little button there where it lets the AI in fact fill in the data and information. There you go. When you click, by the way, when you click to see the code, look, if I delete, I will see a little bit of the code, how it is written. Look, it's the AI actually. It's the one that will replace those data. So the same thing. Here, if I click like this, of course, always stay in expression mode, because it's an expression. The same thing here. But I can leave it like that. It automatically defines the mode straws, just to show you the variables like this. Even later, when we look at the flow, we will see how those variables will be replaced. We will see the exact information. I prefer to look at it like this in display mode, because it helps me later to follow the flow. If there are errors, I can detect them. So for now, if I recap, what have I done? I simply created this node. It's a tool that inside this tool, it simply calls our workflow, which here I will configure. What is its mission? Its mission here is that it will receive 4 variables. It will access the internet, retrieve the data, the information, and then display them to me or save them in the database. So that's what we're going to try to delve into now to detail this part a bit more. All right, let's go. So here I'm actually going to connect to the step where I will retrieve the information from the internet. So here I just need to type HTTP, so request. So here it's a service that allows, in fact, to call other external APIs so they can process the information and send it back to me. So here we are going to work with the post method, and of course we will fill in all the information that we need to send them. So what do we call the headers? We will also need to send them the body in any case, all these steps. Here, in fact, we will see later here, you will set it to JSON. Okay, I will show you how to retrieve the data. Don't worry, in fact, because all these dates, we will retrieve them later. So here, I have a system that buys peripherals, a system that allows connecting to other entire applications and actually allows retrieving data and information. Now, it is the application that this system will call it, contact it, and ask it to return information. And well, it's actually called Pifaile, so Pifaile from Apify.com. It's simply a very well-known online service. It actually allows you to connect to 4,000 actors, because here we're talking about actors or applications, okay? Okay, it is very, very powerful. In fact, it allows, for example, for us, we will work much more on Google Maps Extractor. Is that instead of going to Google Maps and doing, well, programming codes, we will use this service from Apify, and it will take care of bringing me the data that interests me. So you can create a free account, because the free account will give you $5. And with $5, you can go up to 1,000 requests, which means 1,000 lines in your database. And that's very interesting. So there you go. I'm on the free mode, but of course you can just stay on the free mode. Once it works, and it works very well, at that point you can switch to other modes. If you are really looking to create a lot of databases to do prospecting, don't forget, we generally create databases to generate leads and to make sales. But it will cost much less to have a real person collect that data, because I can have a fully updated database with 10,000 lines in just a few minutes. And in a few minutes, and that's very powerful, it will only cost a few dollars. For me, I have the free version. So there, the free version gives me $5. I click here on the console. Of course, if you don't have an account, you need to create one. And then when I click on Go, everything with the console, you'll see that the ICE, it's gone. So here I come here. I'm going to actually copy this code here. So I'm going to make a copy. There you go. And now I return to my system. I will click to open the configuration, and I will go to place the GIS here. Okay. So what's very interesting with the AI? In fact, we are going to try to make these fields be filled in a dynamic, automatic way, according to my needs. If I want to search for information in London, if you are looking for information in Paris, in Marseille, no matter the city, it should be done dynamically. That means it will be done as I see it. It takes a simple plant in the message, and the AI will try to actually retrieve these dates then. So you will see that in relation to this data here. So now, what if I execute? Actually, the information just before here, as you can see here, we will make sure that my system operates in test mode so I can fill in the data. Watch how I will do it. I will enter here. And there actually, regarding this data, I will here to edit here, look, we will edit, and there I will provide information just for testing. So here I will copy, and there we go. This is like output. It's as if we are forcing the output here like this, okay? I save here, and when I save, so look there. It is pinned, then I can delete it, it's right there. I set it so that the user or the AI is filled with this data. So then here, if I click on test workflow, actually, it has been tested. Of course, the workflow won't work because it's missing data. So then when I click open, if I go here and look, as soon as I click here, look, so there, we will try to increase the size to go a bit higher. So then I will try to make it so that this information, I will simply modify it. So how to modify them? Look here, I have my schema. So I click here on schema. And in this schema, I have information. So this site, I will select it like this. San Francisco, I will delete it. And what is my objective? It's that here I will replace it with this information that was mentioned. It was there. We will put it here. How to put it? Watch. I hold it like this with the mouse, and then I will go here. I need to position myself well there. And there you go. Well, it was placed at the bottom, so to watch, it's not a problem. We will cut it. And then I will paste it. Look at this. It's important. Here, it actually shows you your code. And here, it shows you the result. How the machine will see it afterwards. You see this word in a dynamic way. It has been changed. If it means that no matter what the AI, it will fill here, it will fill there. The same thing must be done here regarding the country code. So here, country code. I erase this here. I take country here. I will do the same thing. There we go. That's right. The location was done correctly. Well, so the location, I will position myself there as well. Location. So it's state. So we will put it here. Okay. Then the number of searches for me, I would put 2 just to test. But afterwards, once your system works, you fill in 100, 200. It all depends on your need. Okay. And here, it's actually the search word, of course. I will put it here. Look at this. It should actually be, this is the search word. So we will place it here like this very well. Look there. Do you see? In reality, this information here will be replaced here. If I go here to the manual, there you go. This is the name of the restaurant. This is the number. This is the city. The system after the AI will fill in all the data here, and it will obviously send them back to my system. Okay, so if I go back there, it's good. We've worked on the part and body, so here we have nothing to add. What is left? So actually what's left is this part here, the leader, and also this part here, the URL. Let's start with it. Stop. It's simpler. The URL. First, there is a small documentation, which I will display the link for, so if you ever want to see it. In any case, this link exists in the documentation. So here, this is the link actually, so you will copy this entire link and go to this site. And there it shows you in post mode how I can connect it with this IAE. So quite simply, I will copy this link. But be careful. In this one, there is a small variable called actorid, because this one in fact works with the 4000 actors on the Apify site. That's why here, in actorid, and even the colons, we are going to replace this specific phrase or this specific word with our specific ID. I will show you how to do it, don't worry. First, we start by copying this. I will go here. I will paste it. It works. Then we will change the word actor. ID. With the colons of intention, we will delete everything. How will I change it? I will go here. I will repeat a little bit. You will see that in the URL here, there is actor /. There is actually a word here. You see a code. This, I will copy it. I copy the entire code. This one, I will zoom in for you, so you can see better. That's it actually. From number 2 to the letter R. So this, I will copy it. There you go. I take it, I copy it, and then I come back here. And here I come, I will replace. The actor said, be careful, the colons too, they need to be removed, and I paste. So, we will paste. No, it didn't work, the copy didn't work, so I will redo the copy again, be careful. So here, I will cut it completely to make sure I have retrieved it. And now, I will do a Ctrl+V. There you go. So now, look, it's my new URL with the information. So as a result, here, the URL has been done correctly. There is no problem. All that's left, in fact, is the header part. In this header part, we need to inject some information. And how to find the headers? It's simple. Watch me. So I will show you. I come back here. And you will see that here, you have the settings section here. Okay. In the settings section, you will click on API integration. And there, in fact, you will find your API key. So what I'm going to do, be careful, here in the key, I will create a temporary key just for the training. Afterwards, we will delete it together. Here, I will name it as it is N8N, but this one, we will put some words. And there, I will create. You will see, it will give me a code. This one, it will give me a code. I tell it, display the code. It's not a problem because we will, in any case, I will show you that we will need to copy this code. Afterwards, we will delete it. So this code here, you will need, all right, we will need to retrieve this code. So now I am going to copy it. Then if I go back to my actor, here I return to this actor. You will see in this actor, there will be the information. When I run it, I will see the executions. And now I will need to retrieve some data and some information regarding this actor. And how to do it? I will simply go back to my documentation. Remember, we had this documentation. This documentation, we retrieved the URL and you will see that here it exists. So the information to copy in the header. I will show you how you will do copy paste. You will see here, there is a little word called token. The token, in fact, is the API, the key that we just copied together. Okay. What I am going to do, look at the first line there. It says can't type, colon, application/JSON. So what I am going to do, look, I am going to copy it. So we will copy it without the quotation marks. Be careful. So I will copy. There you go. It's simple. I come back here and there in the name, I will paste here. And be careful, application.json. It's actually the value. That's why I will copy it here. Cut and put it here. Here's the result. Be careful, there are no colons, so neither space nor colons. So here, try to make sure you haven't left the space or the colons. So this is the first variable. And be careful, we have a second one. So here I click on add parameter, and there I would actually need to add both. To add both, the same thing, I go back to this documentation. And this time, in fact, I copy the authorization part. There you go. So here I will make a copy. Be careful. You need to copy the entire line. Authorization. There you go. So here I make a copy. I come back here and there. I will paste it here and there. This value, I cut it and put it here. Here's the result. The same thing, the colons. Be careful with the space. I remove them. And there, my code, I will replace the token with this code. So remember that we have already taken a token, which is this one, so it remains displayed here. There you go. I will make a paste. So this token, it's here. So we leave the word beer, and it should either get angry, erase, or erase in this way. So that's the display. It displays like this. So as a result, I will simply click here at the bottom, and there my system is operational. So as a result, what do? I have a trigger and send the information. The information successfully gets established. Here and there, I have set all the necessary parameters so that I can communicate with Google Maps Extractor. And now Google Maps Extractor has the task of providing me with all the information. So once I receive the information from this API, because somewhere the output, in fact, that's it. The system, when I call this Google Maps Extractor, what is its result? It will provide a table, a result. As you can see, for example, here, if I go to run, if I click here, it will provide. There you go, something like that. Results. So what should be done with these results over there? It was simply necessary to save them, and that's why. In fact, we will think about saving them on a sheet in Google Sheets. Well, you can do it on a Notion database or even a connection to a CRM. But to keep it simple, we will connect them with Google Sheets.